Yay! Welcome. Welcome. Thank
Hello,
God
I
it's
am
Friday
Joy
night.
Onyeso, your host of the Friday Night Hangout. I am delighted to formally welcome you to our first season, season 6. Yay! This is our first season in the year 2022. Friday Night Hangout is a community of like-minded individuals who are willing to give themselves the permission to play full out by learning, unlearning, and relearning skills, strategies, and attitudes required to live a life of unlimited abundance, both in their personal and professional lives. This season, we would start off with conversations on repositioning yourself for growth, understanding value leading relationship that takes you to the next level. And we will also be talking about breaking bias for gender and development. I want you to come fully loaded on board into this season. So invite your family, your friends, your loved ones. Come, let us learn and celebrate ourselves in this first season of the year, episode 81 of our season 6. Now, if you want to change the results you've been getting over the years, you have to change the way you do things. And in this season, we are giving you that opportunity to learn new strategies and skills. I look forward to engaging with you every Friday night at 7 p.m. West African time on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Make it a date with me. You wouldn't regret being part of this tribe. See you on the next episode of Friday Night Hangout.
Hey! Hello, everyone. Good evening, and a very big welcome to another episode of the Friday Night Hangout. Woo! I'm super excited to welcome you all, and I'm your host, Joy Onyeso. This week, we're going to be concluding conversations on relationship. So, our conversation in the month of February is gradually coming to a wrap. Welcome, Ozioma. I see you. Good evening, and how are you? How has your week been like? It's so good to have you all tune in every Friday, 7 p.m. I do not take it for granted at all. So today we're going to be talking specifically on how to move forward after a heartbreak. So if you know anyone that needs to listen to this conversation, take the next few minutes to invite them in and let's have a very good time, really rubbing mind, having conversations on how we can move on. A lot of nuggets is going to be shared today. And as usual, I like to keep it very interactive. So if you have anything to share with the tribe or you have questions, comments, please do use our chat box. And please, let's keep it engaged, lively, and let's all be fully present. I see you, Lori. Good evening. How are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining in. Now, like I said, we're going to be talking about moving forward after a heartbreak. I know, heartbreak, yeah? Most of us have had our fair shares of heartbreak in our lifetime. And once we talk about heartbreak, tell me, what does your mind go to? Ah, maybe a romantic relationship. Yes, that's true. But then heartbreaks happen even beyond the romantic relationship. You could lose a loved one. You could lose a job that you are so passionate about. There are a lot of things that could give you a heartbreak. So what I'm saying here tonight is that heartbreaks do happen even outside romantic relationship. So sit tight as we have this conversation. And like I said earlier on, you have a friend, you have a colleague, you have a friend or family who you think needs to be in this conversation tonight as we talk about how to move forward after a heartbreak. Please do take the next few minutes to invite the person in and let's keep the conversation active. I see you, Theodore. Welcome. Thank you for joining in. Please let's use the chat box. I want to see your thank God it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. I do not take this strife for granted at all. I look forward to Friday evening, because just this time out I have with you, just having this conversation, reading your chats, getting your feedback also inspires me. And I always like to know how your week has been. How has your week been? Tough, good, inspiring, overwhelming? What is the word you would use to describe your week? Let me see it in the chat box. What word would you use to describe your week? Remember, just a word. What word? Welcome, Princess. What word would you use to describe your week? Let's have it in the chat box. Good evening. Okay. While I'm waiting for you to put in your word in the chat box, I will go right into our conversation. Remember, it's very interactive, and I always want to get your feedback as we move along. Now, like I said when I started off the conversation, heartbreak can happen even outside a romantic relationship. Princess says, my week sad. Oh my goodness. Why sad? Oh, I'm sending you so much hugs, happy hugs, healing hugs. It's one of those things. Life happens. I know you're resilient, and we will give you a lot of things to smile about this week, okay? It's a weekend. A lot of things can still happen that will make you happy, okay? Love you so much, Princess. Hey, hello, Dr. Savita. Thank you for joining in. Happy Friday. Nice to have you here all the way from Houston. Thank you. I appreciate you, my sister. Now, like I said earlier on, heartbreaks can happen even outside romantic relationship. Loss of a job, loss of a loved one can break your heart. But one thing I want all of us to know is that with loss comes grief, comes pain. Because when your heart is broken, of course, you feel a measure of pain. Now, the level at which we feel this is different because we all have different level of resilience. We feel pain differently. We heal differently, and the process is differently for all of us. So just know that you're not alone. I'm saying this again. Just know that you're not alone. If you're going through some form of pain right now, from any form of loss, from any that has led to a heartbreak, just know you're not alone. We've all had our fair share of heartbreaks. And as long as there is life, heartbreaks are going to happen. We would lose loved ones. We have no control over that. But one of the things we can do to help ourselves is to get ourselves familiar with the process. It helps you to build resilience. It helps you to heal faster. And it also helps you to be a better support system to a friend, to a colleague, to a loved one. Once you can understand what they're going through and you're able to relate with it. Ozoma said, my week just went from bad to worse this evening. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oziom, I'm sending you so much hugs. And I hope it gets better. I hope it does get better, okay? Princess says, lots of people in my local government during the council elections. Lost a lot of people in my local government during the local government elections who was to dedicate a second chance. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is so sad. This is so sad. And it's a good thing you're here because this is actually what we're talking about tonight. How do we move forward after a heartbreak? And I just said that you could have a heartbreak as a result of losing a loved one. And Princess is just telling us now that she lost lots of people during the last local government election. This is so sad. This is not right. Elections, unfortunately, trigger a lot of violence in the part of our client. This is so sad. And I do hope that the families of the loved ones get the strength they need to move forward with during this very trying and difficult time. I'm so sorry. Please do accept my condolences, and my prayers are with you and with the family of everyone who lost a loved one during these elections. Sabita says, remember that you are not alone. When we think about what we are facing, can you imagine those poor lives being uprooted in exactly in Ukraine? Exactly. There is so much pain being spread around this period. Samantha just mentioned that of Ukraine. I don't know how many of us are following the Ukraine story. Lots of people are seeking for asylum. Ukraine is in a mess right now. And now we have a lot of things happening with the different world powers taking sides. So we are all affected one way or the other. And when you think about that, it also makes one feel sad. It also makes one feel sad. We're sending prayers to everyone in Ukraine or those who have loved ones in Ukraine. And we do hope that the situation can be arrested very soon. Okay, Rosemary, Ruby, nice to see you. Thank you for joining in. Like I was saying, we're going to be having conversations on how to move forward after a heartbreak. We have faced one form of heartbreak or the other through the loss of a loved one, job, a romantic relationship, and this causes us a degree of pain. It causes us to grieve. And for some people, depending on the depth of the pain, it becomes a mental issue. And they find it difficult to believe that there is life beyond that pain. They find it difficult to believe that they can move on. For some, there is a feeling of guilt that sets in. If it's in the case of a loved one, you would say, oh, if I had done this, if I was there, if I maybe noticed on time, maybe I would have lost my loved one. But I'm here to tell you tonight that you did all you could do at that point in time. And life does happen. No one wishes to lose a loved one. But when life happens, we need to look around and pick up the pieces and move forward. And that's what the conversation tonight is all about. How do we build resilience? How do we move forward? How do we allow ourselves to heal? How can we be better support system to those who are going through trying times as a result of pain, grief from heartbreak? So I just want you to take that time out and just reflect. I want you to think back to either when you had a heartbreak or when someone close to you had a heartbreak, and for you to imagine the level of pain you felt then. What does this tell you? It tells you that anyone going through that level of pain needs support, some sort of support and understanding. And I make that ask for you today. Could you be more gentle in relating with people because you do not know what they're dealing with? So tonight I'm going to be sharing 4 strategies for us to move forward after a heartbreak. The first one is allow yourself to feel the feelings. You understand? Allow yourself to feel the feelings. Why do I say this? Sometimes we live in denial, and that's a normal process of healing. First of all, denial hits you. I remember when I came back into the country in 2019, and I was told that my elder brother had passed on. Oh my goodness. First of all, I went into a shock. I couldn't assimilate it. And I've had this calmness all over me. I couldn't just take it in. It was as if I had a mental block. And then gradually the emotions hit me. It was as if I was drowning in the emotions. Then I said, it felt like a dream. I didn't want to believe that it was true. How can someone I just saw before I traveled, how can? I felt I would sleep and I would wake up and I would see him again. But for some of us, we carry this feeling of denials, for a longer period of time. And that's okay because we all have different levels of resilience. We all go through the process differently. We all grieve differently. So don't use your healing process to compare with that of the next person, or don't project your process to another person. So allow yourself to feel the feelings. Don't make yourself feel that you're abnormal. It is okay to feel the way you're feeling. You are experiencing a pain. You are experiencing a loss of a job, a loss of a loved one, a loss of a romantic relationship, a loss of a marriage, or you're going through divorce. It is okay to go through those feelings. That's why you're human. So allow yourself to go through that process of feelings. Now, after going through that process, it takes time. For some, it's short. For some, it's long. For some, it's What I'm just trying to say is no one can actually say the length of time it takes for you to come out of that first phase. It all depends on a number of factors. But the key thing is just allow yourself to go through the process. And now, for those who are not in the process, but are around someone going through that process, I'm asking you to be a little bit more patient with them, more patient than you normally would be. Don't project on them. Don't force them. Don't slide. Sometimes I hear people say, "Don't cry. Why are you crying? Why are you?" Listen, crying is a natural emotion. It's a way of expressing pain. It's a way of expressing joy. So allow people to be themselves. People can feel like you. People can behave like you do. So don't project the way you feel onto others, or don't project the way you want people to react in a situation. Don't project it to them. You're not them. People are different. So just allow them to be themselves. Nasiba says, I'm so sorry for not being in the past. I have lost my phone and that's why I'm not. Oh my goodness. We're so happy to see you, Nasiba. We've really missed you. It's been a while. Thank you for making it back here. And we're so happy to see you. Welcome back to the tribe. And Jideka says, heartbreak has taught me lessons and I've learned so much from it. And I do hope, Jideka, you're going to share some of the stories you've learned from the heartbreak, because this is a learning platform. We want to learn from your experience. So what are the lessons you've learned? Do you mind sharing them? If you're comfortable sharing them, please put it in the chat box so that we can read, we can learn from them, and we can learn how to be a better support system. Looking back at what you went through, what would have worked better for you? What kind of support would you have needed? So put it in the chat box and then we would allow ourselves to read and react. So, my dears, like I said, allow people to go through their process. Do not project. If someone that is hurting or is trying to find her feet or his feet after a loss or a heartbreak, please allow them. Give them that space, give them that room, and don't make them shut down by the words you throw at them. You know, we live in a society that sometimes like to pressurize people by stereotyping the kind of reactions and how people should live, how people should deal with pain. But this is tell that we all have different level of dealing with pain, different level of resilience. The way you bounce back is not the way the next person would. So yours should not be a yardstick for the next person. We all need to be ourselves and be as supportive as we can of the next person. So like I said, the first thing is allow yourself to feel the feelings. The second thing is surround yourself with support system that you love and trust. Because it's one thing to be going through a process of pain, and then you have to deal with it with people who you do not trust, with people who are adding so much pain to you, with living in a toxic environment. And it's so draining. And that is why sometimes when you see the struggles that widows or widowers go through after they lose their partner or their spouse, and then you have to add it with all the drama that happens around it, it's very draining. It's both an individual and collective responsibility. And so I ask you, how can you be a good support system to that person in your family, to that friend that you have who is going through some trying time? How can you best support the person? So if you are one that is going through the heartbreak right now and you're wondering, how do I work out of this? How can I move forward? Please have a support system that can envelop you in love. People that are not judging you, people that you're not afraid to be yourself with. Like I said earlier on, it can be draining, super draining to try to be someone else with people. So if you're not comfortable being with someone, being yourself, when I say being, I mean being your real self with someone at that critical time, please, no excuses. Just detach yourself from that situation. I know it's easier said than done, especially in our climate. It's so difficult, but we can be intentional about it. And that's why we're having this conversation in the first place, so that we begin to reflect. You mustn't go through a situation before you get experience. That is why platform like this exists, where we can share experiences, where we can build our skill set in learning how to deal with certain situations. So begin to reflect. Who around you is that support system that you can readily trust, that you feel safe with, that will understand you even without words being spoken? I want you to value that relationship and nurture it. Value and nurture it. Okay? Value and nurture it. So it's very critical that you have a support system. Now, most times you hear me talk about support system, support system, support system. What really is a support system? I've had that question several times. Oh, Mama, what is a support system? You keep talking about a support system. The name is very explanatory, but I'll try to explain it in simpler language. When we talk about support system, I'm simply referring to the network of persons, individuals who are there to hold your hands through situations, who are there to celebrate with you, who are there to, to cry with you, to help you walk through situations, to tell you that it's okay. These are people who are not afraid to tell you the truth. These are people who do not judge you. These are people who do not create toxic environments around you. They are those that you feel safe with. They are those that watch your back. They are those that keep pulling you along even when you feel so tired. And if they need to bury you on their backs, they do that without second thoughts. So that is a support system. And I ask you, how many persons do you have in your support system? You don't need a crowd. In fact, if you have a crowd as a support system, then you have chaos brewing for you. You don't need a crowd in your support system. If you do, then you have chaos upcoming. So you need to be very careful and very intentional in choosing those you let into what I call your inner circle, because that's actually what your support system is. Your support system is your inner circle. The support system is your inner circle. And anyone you let into your inner circle, I want you to view it like this. The outer circle is like your living room. When people come to your home, and whether they are strangers or they're people you do know, there's a level of acquaintance you have with the person. You just entertain them in the living room. You get what I mean? Yeah. They come in, you entertain them in the living room. Now, there is a certain level of relationship you have with certain persons. You just do not feel any qualms to take them into your bedroom. They can come into your bedroom. You're not afraid to be you with them. Those kind of people are those that I refer to as your inner circle. Now, if you have a crowd in that inner circle, oh my goodness, you're always going to be in the middle of drama. You're always going to be in the middle of drama, because you're going to make the mistake of bringing those who are meant to be in the living room into the bedroom. And then you have drama everywhere, chaos. So be very careful. And, when you're going through that vulnerable state where you are heartbroken, where you feel very weak, you're trying to make sense of what is happening, you're just trying to put yourself together, who you surround yourself with is very important. I'm going to take that again. When you're in a vulnerable state, who you surround yourself with is very important, because it could either make you or mar you. And so you need to be very intentional. Who do you bring into that inner circle? Who do you share your secrets with? Some persons say they don't want to share secrets with anyone because they don't want to give you that responsibility, and that's fine. And some would say, I want to share with someone because a problem shared is a problem halved, and I want to have someone I can tell certain things, and that's also fine. But with every right comes responsibility. So be very careful the expectations you have of people, so that you do not get your fingers burnt. So who you have around you in your state of vulnerability is really very important. Princess says you don't need a crowd in your support system to avoid chaos. Oh yeah, very true. You don't need a crowd. I see Chi Uzo. Welcome, Chi Uzo. It's nice to have you here. Thank you for joining in. It's a pleasure to see you. Rita Wamaka, thank you for joining in. Nice to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you're just joining us for the first time, I am Joy Onyesa, and I'm saying a very big welcome to you. Welcome to the Friday Night Hangout Tribe. Here, we take time to celebrate ourselves. We have conversations on topical issues, and we learn skills, we learn new ones, and we also learn how to be resilient. In this space, we devote a lot of time on personal development issues and also business and career development topics. So if you're coming in, this is the right space, and I welcome you. This is a fun space, a safe space, and please feel free to interact, to network, and just to ask questions. So if you have any questions so far, please put it in the chat box. And if you have anything to share, please let us know. Njideka says, NEPA has broken my heart this evening. Please mend your heart. Don't allow NEPA to break your heart. Oh my goodness. Chioma says, hello, Prof. Hello, Chioma. Nice to have you. Nice to have you too, Chinyere. Chinyere says, just went through separation with my husband, thanks to two of my friends, because the heartbreak would have killed me. Oh my goodness. I'm so happy that you have a solid support system. And this is what we're talking about tonight. One of the strategies of getting through a heartbreak is having a solid support system. So I'm very happy that you had that, Chinenye, and thank you for sharing with us. Thank you for validating the fact that when you have a solid support system, it makes the process easier. No one says it's going to be easy. No one says it's a walk in the park, moving forward after a heartbreak. But what I'm saying tonight is allow yourself to feel the feelings. Surround yourself with love. Have a solid support system that can hold your hands and tell you, girl, is going to be fine. No matter what you're going through now, I just want you to know that it's just a phase, and you have all that it takes to move past this phase. You need someone to tell you that you are not alone. Even when you don't speak, they understand what you need, and they can help you move forward. That is what we are talking about tonight. And Ada, and nice to have you. Thank you for joining in. And Njideka says, first timers, receive your hug in Jesus' name. Amen. Oh my goodness. Njideka is sending lots of hugs, lots of hugs. Good evening, Ada. Nice to have you all. Thank you for joining in. Now we're going to talk about the third strategy. But before we talk about the third strategy, we're going to take a brief advert where we talk about the Power Woman Forum. And you see some of you who are already Power Women, you're already on board the platform. And this is an opportunity for inviting you all to join in. We want to have as many people as possible in that platform. The platform is an amazing platform for kingdom-minded women who are desiring to live a purposeful life, create a lasting legacy, and live a life of impact as well. So if you want to build your skills, if you want to expand your circle of influence, if you want to network, then the Power Woman Forum is a platform that you ought to be in. Stella says, we are looking smashing hot. Hey, I love it when you compliment me, especially when it's coming from my darling sister from far away Connecticut. Thank you, darling Stella. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm happy that I'm looking nice. Thank you so much. Looking good is good business, yeah? Oh my goodness. This is so nice to be here. Okay, I was talking about the Power Woman Forum, and I said it's a platform for kingdom-minded women. And we're going to be having International Women's Month sales coming up next month. So get ready. Really get ready. The sales is going to start on the 7th of March through to the 9th of March. It's a 72 hours huge discount for us to welcome new members on board the Power Woman Forum. So if you've been desiring to join us, we have two major categories: the ready to soar and no mountain is too high. Then I ask you to get ready, get prepared. You know, I always like to give you gifts. I love to give gifts. I love it. I love it. I love to make things accessible for us. And one of the ways I can serve you better is by ensuring that you have access to timely information that can help you take results focused actions. So get ready for our upcoming sales on the Power Woman Forum. I see you all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Now we're going to look at the third strategy for moving forward after a heartbreak. And mark you, these are some of the strategies. This is not all of it. These are just some of the strategies that I've put out. So if you have any thoughts as to how to make it easier for one to move forward after a heartbreak, please do put it in the chat box. Please do share. You know we love to share. There's love in sharing. So share your experience if you're comfortable doing that. If you have a strategy that you think we need to learn about that works for you, or you saw it work for someone else, please do put it in the chat box. And we would want to have conversation around it. I'm also super excited to say, the months are really running. In a few days, it's going to be March. Can you imagine? 2022 that just started a few days ago. It's already March. I know I'm not the only one feeling this way, that this year was like this. It has just been running like this. January, February has just been like this. It's just been so fast. Where in a few days time we are marching into March. And in a couple of months, we're going to be celebrating the second year anniversary of the Friday Night Hangout. I'm just going to put that out there for now and just leave it at that. I will have conversation with that. I love to dialogue. I love to have conversations. I will have further conversations on that. Now, back to our topic for today, which is how to move forward after a heartbreak. The third strategy I'm going to be sharing with us tonight is give yourself the permission to move forward. Yeah, I'm going to take that again. Give yourself the permission to move forward. And you know why I say this? No matter what anyone tells you, no matter how much anyone preaches to you, motivates you, encourages you, it is that truth that you tell yourself that enables you to move forward. If you tell yourself that there's a life beyond the pain, then you begin to see the light at the end of the tunnel. No one is saying that it's going to be easy. I like to say this. No one is saying that it's going to be instant, but at least start taking those baby steps. Give yourself that permission to get up and move. Be committed to that journey after the pain. Be committed to healing. Healing is a process. It's a process. So you don't want to stay at one point and expect all the process to happen there. You need to keep moving gradually. And as you keep moving, you keep healing. You keep healing. Yes, certain things will happen that will strike a chord and you break down in tears and you want to feel some feelings of regret, sorrow, loss. It's okay. That's why you're a human being. You're human. And those emotions are okay. They're really okay. But the thing is that you don't allow yourself to drown in the situation. You don't allow yourself to drown in the pain. I know it's really so sad. If, for instance, you've been at a job, maybe you've given your whole time, your whole years, you've worked in a place for 10 years, 12 years, and all of a sudden, without any consideration, you're just laid off. I know how heartbreaking it can be, especially if you planned your life to walk through and retire there. Especially if you tell yourself that you have some few more years there before leaving, and then it just goes down the drain. That can be heartbreaking. That can be heartbreaking. Well, all I'm saying is this: give yourself the permission to see beyond the pain, to the possibilities that exist after the pain. And only you can give yourself that permission. I like to use the word give yourself that permission because actually you'll be giving yourself the permission. You will be saying to yourself, hey girl, hey guy, I know you're going through so much now. I know you're heartbroken. I know it looks impossible, everything looks so dark, everything looks so gloomy, but I want to see what is on the other side. I'm ready to do the work. It may take me time. It may take me a lot of time. It may take a lot of effort, but I'm willing to start the process. Once you get yourself into that mindset, you will start seeing things falling into place. It's not a walk in the park. It doesn't happen instantly. No, it doesn't. You will have some setbacks, but it is okay. The most important thing is that you are moving, you are healing, you are going through the process. You are going through the process. And allow yourself time to go through that process. Get busy, get active. And just allow yourself. Because sometimes we allow guilt, we allow the pain to hold us bondage. We are even afraid to move out of it. Because sometimes, if it's the case of a loved one, you feel that you're doing this service to that person after the person is dead, no second chance, and you're here living life, and you feel guilty that you're smiling, you feel guilty that you're dressing well. I want to ask you to give yourself the permission to release yourself from that guilt. You did all that you could do, and there is nothing else you can do. One of the gifts you'll be giving to the memory of your loved one is to live life again. Is to live life again. Honorable Gunachi says you are talking to me. Thank you, sis. I'm glad that you're getting value. Is to live life again. And if you are going through the pain of a romantic relationship, hey, there are other good men out there. There are other women out there. Just take your time. Don't be in a hurry to jump into another relationship. You don't come out from one relationship and jump into the next one. You need to give yourself time to heal, yourself time to learn the lessons, to reflect, to understand what worked and what did not work, to even rediscover yourself. Because every day you sleep and wake up, you evolve. Give yourself the permission as well to meet the new you and to understand the new you and what you desire. Do not settle for less. No matter what anyone tells you, do not settle for less. But give yourself time to heal. You can't jump from A to B to C. No. Give yourself time to know you, to enjoy you, to enjoy your. Some of us are so afraid to be in our own company. We're so afraid. Why? Because we don't even love ourselves. And my dear, you cannot give what you don't have. You can't give what you don't have. If you're in a relationship and you do not love yourself, it comes out in different ways. And then if you are unfortunate to get involved with someone who is selfish, the person will take advantage of that and create more problems for you. So know you, love yourself. And if your romantic relationship, either you're going through a divorce or you are in courtship and you found out that it's not working and it has to come to an end, it's not easy because you've invested a lot of time trying to get to know the person. You invested maybe some financial commitment. So a whole lot of things have gone into it, especially time. And time is a non-renewable currency. So it could make you feel bad. It could make you feel even more pain. But you know what? That's not the worst thing that can happen. That's not the worst thing that can happen. I see some persons attempt to take their life after losing, after a courtship ends or goes sour, or after a marriage goes sour. A lot of things happen and they lose their mind. They want to take their life. Some even take their lives. And this is me saying to those, if perhaps you're in that situation right now, you're hearing me, or you know someone who is in that situation, I will say that you need to seek professional help. If you've gotten to the point where you start thinking about committing suicide, if you start entertaining suicidal thoughts, please, it is a time for you to seek professional help. Do not attempt, and if you're a support system and you're not a trained professional, do not try to support someone who has suicidal thoughts. Let a professional handle it so both of you don't drown or you don't create more harm. So when you get to the point where you cannot handle the pain again, I think it's time to talk to a counselor. It's a time to talk to a psychologist. Is that time to talk to a professional who can hold your hands and walk you through the pain. You're not alone. One of the key takeaways I want you to take from this um, um, conversation tonight is that no matter what you're going through, no matter the level of pain, you are not alone. I want you to say that to yourself. I am not alone. I am not alone. So you are not alone. You have a tribe behind you who you may not even see. So just know this, that it is a phase and you need to work it out so that you can get past that phase. But hey, like I said, give it time. Do not force it. Do not rush it. Though sometimes we go through stuff, we don't give ourselves time to heal. We want to show people that nothing happened to you, that you're fine, you're good and fine, you're strong, you're resilient, you're causing yourself more harm. And that's why I said the first thing you need to do is to allow yourself to feel the feelings. In allowing yourself to feel the feelings, you're getting yourself in tune with what happened. You are, stepping out of the season of denial and just internalizing what has happened and allowing yourself the emotions that come with that loss. Any form of loss can be very traumatic. From miscarriage, in our climb, we don't recognize that a woman who has gone through miscarriage, even at the early stage, can feel so traumatized. It can be very traumatic. So a lot of pain can cause you heartbreak. It's not just, we often tend to attach heartbreaks with the loss of a romantic relationship. It's beyond that. The loss of a child, the loss of a husband, the loss of a wife, the loss of a job can cause you heartbreak. And so tonight we're saying, if you are going through any of this pain, how can you move forward? And I've shared with you three key strategies to help you move forward. 4, in fact. I talked about allowing yourself to feel the feelings. I talked about surrounding yourself with love by having a support system. We talked about you getting professional help if you're feeling suicidal and all of that. And the fourth one is I talked about you giving yourself the permission to live beyond the pain. Give yourself the permission to live beyond the pain. You are not alone. You are not alone. Okay? This is life. Life happens. One of the constant things in life is change. You don't have control. Nobody can actually tell you what will happen the next second. You see, as we're all here having these interactions, we can't say what will happen the next minute. We can't, and that's why we're not God. And so when life does happen, and you suffer a loss, which comes with a lot of trauma, how then do you allow your heart to get healed and to move forward? That is the conversation we're having tonight. I do hope that you've gotten some nuggets. If you have some experiences you want to share, please put it in the chat box. And thank you to my sisters who have shared some of their experiences. What this does is that it helps to encourage us. A lot of persons read your story and they get inspired. Listen, at some point in life, we all need to be inspired or motivated. So if you say you don't need to be motivated, you don't need to be inspired externally, that's a challenge for me, because you can't be 100% all the time. That's why you're human. And so in those times when you are low and you draw from yourself and you find out that the energy within cannot carry you, that is when you get the external support to help you move forward. That is not to say that your own intrinsic motivation or inspiration doesn't count. It does. But you still need to be motivated by someone at some point in time. And that's why some of the stories we share, the experiences we share, helps to tell some other person, and listen, you're not alone. Someone has been through that and went through it. And so just know that it is a phase and you can get past it. Just keep your focus, give yourself time, and remember that patience is a virtue. Patience is really a virtue. Okay. Um, God naturally says, life happens really, but we must walk to heal our hearts to move forward. Yes, that is it. Life happens. Life does happen. We have no control about that. What we do have control about is we have control of our actions. So we have control of our actions, and that is what we must expand on. How can we work to ensure that we have control of our healing process, that we know what we are going through, we allow ourselves to go through the process, we are focused on the results, we know we want to heal, and we don't want to drown ourselves or other people. Sometimes people who are going through pain tend to inflict pain on others, and that's where you have to be intentional. It sometimes it's normal when you're living in denial or you're going through that angry phase. Sometimes when you've gone through a major loss, you're so angry at the world, you're angry at everyone. It's a phase. It's a phase that passes, it passes. But when you find yourself dwelling in that phase for a very long period, that is also a good time to seek professional help. So that you don't hurt yourself or you don't hurt someone around you. Because if you allow that anger to continue, you could do something bad. So that's the time to seek professional help. I know in our client we don't like to seek professional help on such issues, but trust me, there are certain things you need someone who is skilled and trained in that area to hold your hands to help you walk past it. And this is really one of it. This is one of it. And before we wrap up for tonight, I want to take time to tell us, we always have a lot of offerings on the Friday night hangout. When you come to the Friday night hangout, I say it's loaded. Come ready to learn, come ready to share, come ready to experience. I like to use the word experience because you experience really. You come here to experience. And a lot is going to be unveiling in the next couple of weeks. And I just ask you to stay tuned with us. If you have a loved one, if you know anyone who will benefit from our conversations in Friday night hangout, please do share. Please do invite them. We want to expand our tribe. This is the year of expansion. So I'm asking you to please, next time we come on board next month, that will be the International Women's Month. We have a lot of goodies in International Women's Month. Invite someone. Make sure you don't come alone. Invite someone to the conversation, and we're going to have a lot of good time. Okay? If you haven't gotten the Power Woman magazine for the quarter, it's on Soaring Higher. Please do try to get it. You can go to the website, the Power Woman E magazine.com, and you can get an archived copies and the current copy. On the cover page is dear sister and Amazon, Barrister Goze Udemeze, and she shares with us very interesting interview. And I invite you to take out time to subscribe. And the subscription is not even much. We have the 3 month subscription offer, we have the 6 months, we have the 1 year. For the 6 months, it goes for a little above 3,200, and you have access to all the archived copies. So you can read all the copies last year and then the year before and this one, all for 3 months at that price. Isn't it amazing? I tell you, I like to give you good offers. So if you want to get to subscribe, just simply go to www.powerwomanemagazine.com and you can get to subscribe. Very easy step, and you get yourself a copy. Now, if you're interested in getting a hard copy of that magazine, it comes at a different rate. Just put it in the chat box, hard copy, and we'll be in touch with you to ensure that you get your hard copy plus a 1 month or 3 months or 6 months subscription, all at your discretion. Yes. The night is almost done. And I know some of us are looking forward to turning in or going out. This is a time to distress. And I want to tell you all that life is so good. The meaning you give to life is what you see. It starts from your mindset. What stories are you feeding your mind? What thoughts are you feeding your mind? If you can take control of your mind, you've taken control of your life. If you need to move forward after a heartbreak, you need to take control of your thought process. You need to take control of what you feed your mind so that you can align it with the actions that you take. You can't be saying negative things to yourself and then you want to take positive action. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. There has to be a mental transformation for you to experience the actions you want to take. So when I say result focused actions, these are actions that take you towards your goal. So if the goal is to move forward after a heartbreak, then give yourself the permission to do just that. Even if it means taking baby steps, that is a huge step. That is really a huge step. And like I said, have that support system. Remember, we've talked about several things. Feel the feelings, have a support system, surround yourself with love, give yourself the permission to move forward, seek professional help. All of these things are what to make you stronger. And then be committed to the process. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. Just know that a process is not a state. From time to time, you might take 2 steps forward and then you see yourself going backwards. That is fine. As long as you can pick yourself and keep moving, one baby step at a time. Be gentle on yourself. Be patient. Life does happen. And just now, there are a lot of people who are rooting for you, who are willing to cheer you on. These are real stuff. I say that from a place of experience because I have been through it. There was a time in my life when I was heartbroken, I have had several moments in time. But the one most of you do know, which I have shared publicly, is that of my daughter. It was not easy. In a few weeks, she's going to be 16 years. And so for 16 years, I've been nurturing a child living with a special condition called osteogenesis imperfecta. In simple words, brittle bone disease. It's not been easy. We've had our own share of enormous pain that broke us. And then we got out of the pain. And that's why I started a program called Broken But Remolded, which is actually to speak to hurting hearts, to those going through different challenging conditions, to say, you know what? There is life after that pain. It can get better, but you need to give yourself the permission to see it. So you are not alone. We've all had our fair shares. And for so many of us, we've also learned to live with the pain. We've learned to make it a joy point. So no matter what you're going through now, just know that it is a phase, my dear. It's a phase. You are not alone at all. Life will get better. But you need to give yourself the permission for life to get better. At this point, I'll say if you have comments, you have questions, put it in. Otherwise, I want to welcome Zuhaifa Ibrahim. Thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you. For all those who joined us tonight, thank you. Please do share the link, share this message, invite your friends, invite your colleagues to join us on the Friday night hangout. We're looking forward to expanding our tribe this year. And we have lots of goodies for you. And you can trust that at the Friday night hangout, I will always bring us timely, relevant content, one that you so desire. Most of the topics we're treating this year were chosen by you. And so each month, I would work on bringing you at least 2 guests who will speak to some of the issues concerned. This month of February, we had very good conversations talking about relationships. We looked at the different aspects of relationships. We looked at how we can intentionally build relationships and take it a notch forward. And today, we are also looking at how to move forward after a heartbreak. And this is the concluding conversation on relationship in the month of February. Now we're going to move into the month of March. The month of March is also the International Women's Month. Globally, it's recognized as International Women's Month, especially on March 8th, where we celebrate the International Women's Day. So we're looking forward to it. So this month of March, on the Friday night hangout, we're going to be discussing breaking the gender bias. We're going to be having conversations on gender, on biases, What can we do to support our sisters and mothers? How does it impact on the world and the business world, the career world? What are some of the challenges and what are some of the responsibilities we have? What are some opportunities that we can leverage on? Those are the conversations that will happen in the month of March. Interesting, yes? Also, I look forward to seeing you all next month in the month of March, because in a few days we wrap up. As always, I do not take you for granted. I love having you on board. I want to take this time out to appreciate my team who has made this possible. They work tirelessly behind the screen. Amara, Daisy, Uche, Ihechi, thank you so much for all you do to make this a reality. And thank you for all the support that you bring to this process. And to you, who always turn up every 7 p.m. Oh my goodness. Without you, there'll be no Friday night hangout. But every 7 p.m. you're here, and some of you go ahead to share and to invite people. Thank you for doing this. I know it's been awesome always having this conversation with you. Until I see you next week, Friday, I'll say bye for now. Learn to celebrate yourself. Rest this weekend. Have some fun. Have some fun. Have some fun. Okay? Do what gives you joy and makes you happy, as long as you're not hurting someone else. You understand? Yeah. It's a Friday night hangout. And for now, from your host, Joy Onyeso, it's bye until I see you next week. Bye. See you next week. Love you all. Bye for now. Yay.
Oh, yeah.